serve a God who speaks to nothing and calls it something, who parts the sea with a whisper, who breaks the chains of the suffering. The doctor said it's over, the world said close the case, but my God specializes in the impossible by faith. He took a wound that was empty, filled it with laughter and tears. He took a tomb that was final and rolled away all the fears. God of all possibilities, that's who you are. Moving mountains, healing bodies, reaching every sky. You still do miracles, you still part the sea. The same God who raised Jesus is working here in me. God of all possibilities, I believe tonight nothing is too hard for you. You turn darkness into light. Abraham was 100, Sarah's womb was dry, but you promised them a nation, and you didn't lie. The Red Sea stood like a wall, the army couldn't pass, but you opened up a highway right through the water's mash. Shadrach in the furnace, the fire had no sting. Daniel in the lion's den, you shut every mouth to sing. If you did it then, you do it now. I don't need to know the how, just the who, just the one who speaks and it's already done. God of all possibilities, I'm standing on your promises tonight. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I serve a God who speaks to nothing and calls it something, who parts the sea with a whisper, who breaks the chains of the suffering. The doctor said it's over, the world said close the case, but my God specializes in the impossible by faith. He took a wound that was empty, filled it with laughter and tears. He took a tomb that was final and rolled away all the fears. God of all possibilities, that's who you are. Moving mountains, healing bodies, reaching every sky. You still do miracles, you still part the sea. The same but you promised them a nation, and you didn't lie. The Red Sea stood like a wall. The army couldn't pass, but you opened up a highway right through the water's maze. Shipwreck in the furnace, the fire had no sting. Daniel in the lion's den, he shut every mouth to sing. If you did it then, you do it now. How, just the who, just the one who speaks and it's already done. God of all possibilities, I'm standing on your promises tonight. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. The God who walked with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the same God who's walking with me today. The God who made a covenant with David's house is the same God who's listening when I pray. He hasn't aged, he hasn't tired, he hasn't changed his mind. He's not distant, he's not angry, he's the faithful kind. What he did for Moses at the burning bush, he's doing for me right now. Hush. He's the same yesterday, today, forever. His love for me will never ever sever. The miracles he did back then, he's doing now. I don't care what the world says, I take my vow. He's the same, he hasn't changed. My situation isn't too broken to be rearranged. The same God, the same power, the same love. He's the same, he's more than enough. The Red Sea didn't stop him, the Jordan didn't either. The walls of Jericho fell, I'm a believer. The fiery furnace couldn't burn the faithful three. And the same God is reaching out to me. Goliath fell, the giant hit the ground. The same sling and stone still make the victory sound. So I'll trust him with my giant, my mountain, my sea. Because the God who never changes has rearranged my very pages. He's the same. He's the same. He's the same. I trust you. I trust you. The God who walked with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the same God who's walking with me today. The God who made a covenant with David's house is the same God who's listening when I pray. He hasn't aged, he hasn't tired, he hasn't changed his mind. He's not distant, he's not angry, he's the faithful kind. What he did for Moses at the burning bush, he's doing for me right now. Hush. He's the same yesterday, today, forever. His love for me will never, ever sever. The miracles he did back then, he's doing now. I don't care what the world says, I take my vow. He's the same, he's the same. He hasn't changed. My situation isn't too broken to be rearranged. The same God, the same power, the same love. He's the same. He's more than enough. The Red Sea didn't stop him, the Jordan didn't either. The walls of Jericho fell, I'm a believer. The fiery furnace couldn't burn the faithful three, and the same God is reaching out to me. Goliath fell, the giant hit the ground. The same sling and stone still make a victory sound. So I'll trust him with my giant, my mountain, my sea. He's the same. Jeremiah asked a question thousands of years ago. Is anything too hard for the God we know? And the answer thunders through the ages still. Nothing against his will. He spoke to the wind and the waves obeyed. He walked on water, he wasn't afraid of my storm, of my fear, of my doubt. Nothing too hard, he's already figured it out. Nothing too hard for my God, nothing too hard. He holds the universe and he holds my heart. Healing, provision, restoration, peace, every chain, every stronghold release. Nothing too hard, nothing too late. He's the God who opens every closed gate. So I'll trust, I'll rest, I'll wait. Nothing too hard, he's never late. The sun stood still for Joshua, the moon obeyed. The dead came back to life, the price was paid. On Calvary's hill, the grave couldn't hold him down. He rose with power, he wore the victor's crown. If he can conquer death, he can conquer my today. My sickness, my sorrow, my lost way. There's nothing on this earth that can stand against the power of his hand. So I lift my hands and I declare, nothing too hard. He's already there. Before I call, he answers me. Nothing too hard, I'm finally free. Nothing too hard, nothing too hard. I believe, I believe, I believe. asked a question thousands of years ago. Is anything too hard for the God we know? And the answer thunders through the ages still. Nothing, nothing against His will. He spoke to the wind and the waves obeyed. He walked on water, He wasn't afraid of my storm, of my fear, of my doubt. Nothing too hard, He's already figured it out. Nothing too hard for my God, nothing too hard. He holds the universe and He holds my heart. Healing, provision, restoration, peace. Every chain, every stronghold release. Nothing too hard, nothing too late. He's the God who opens every closed gate. So I'll trust, I'll rest, I'll wait. Nothing too hard, He's never late. The sun stood still for Joshua, the moon obeyed. The dead came back to life, the price was paid. On Calvary's hill, the grave couldn't hold Him down. He rose with power, He wore the victor's crown. If He can conquer death, He can conquer my today, my sickness, my sorrow, my lost way. There's nothing on this earth that can stand against the power of His hand. So I lift my hands and I declare, nothing too hard, it's already there. Before I call, He answers me. Nothing too hard, I am finally free. Nothing too hard, nothing too hard. I believe, I believe. I can feel something shifting in the atmosphere. The weight of worry is lifting. I can see more clear. The atmosphere of heaven is invading my room. My situation is about to bloom. I don't see it yet with my physical eyes, but faith sees what hasn't risen to the skies. The seed is underground, but the harvest is on its way. This is the calm before the miracle display. Miracle in the making, I can feel it now. God is working behind the scenes. I don't know how, but I know who, and that's enough for me. The God of wonders is setting something free. Miracle in the making, don't you dare give up. The cup is filling, soon it's gonna overflow. The cup, just hold on, just believe. Your miracle is already conceived. Sarah laughed when she heard the news at 90, but 9 months later she held Isaac mighty. Joseph dreamed in the pit and in the prison, but God was weaving the miracle his eyes hadn't seen. Your waiting is not wasted, your tears are not ignored. The God of the breakthrough is walking through your door. He's not late, He's right on time. something shifting in the atmosphere. The weight of worry is lifting, I can see more clear. The atmosphere of heaven is invading my room. My situation is about to bloom. I don't see it yet with my physical eyes, but faith sees what hasn't risen to the skies. The seed is underground, but the harvest is on its way. This is the calm before the miracle display. Miracle in the making, I can feel it now. God is working behind the scenes. I don't know how, but I know who, and that's enough for me. The God of wonders is setting something free. Soon it's gonna overflow the cup. Just hold on, just believe. Your miracle is already conceived. Sarah laughed when she heard the news at 90, but 9 months later she held Isaac mighty. Joseph dreamed in the pit and in the prison, but God was weaving a miracle his eyes hadn't seen. Your waiting is not wasted, your tears are not ignored. The God of the breakthrough is walking through your door. He's not late, he's right on time. Miracle in the making, my heart is no longer breaking. The tide is turning, the dawn is near. Miracle in the making, watch it up here. I woke up this morning with a mountain in my way, bigger than any words I know how to say. But I serve a God who specializes in impossible things, who turns my winters into everlasting springs. He spoke to Mount Everest and it bowed down. He silenced every fear that tried to wear a crown. This mountain may be tall, but my God is taller. This battle may be fierce, but my God is the caller. Still moving mountains, still parting seas, still calming storms, still setting captives free. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave is the same power that is more than able to save. Still moving mountains, nothing changed. My God is still the King who rearranged the fabric of the universe with just one word. Still moving mountains, haven't you heard? Zacchaeus was too short to see above the crowd, but Jesus saw him anyway and called him down. You may feel too small, too weak, too late, but God is already moving past every gate. The mountain in the front of you is not a surprise. He saw it coming with his all-seeing eyes, and he's already made a way where there is no way. Mountain, move in Jesus' name. I'm not playing a losing game. My God is still the mountain mover. My fear and anxiety, he'll remove her. Moving mountains, this morning with the mountain in my way, bigger than any words I know how to say. But I serve a God who specializes in impossible things, who turns my winters into everlasting springs. He spoke to Mount Everest and it bowed down. He silenced every fear that tried to wear a crown. This mountain may be tall, but my God is taller. This battle may be fierce, but my God is the caller. Still moving mountains, still parting seas, still calming storms, still setting captives free. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave is the same power that is more than able to save. Still moving mountains, nothing changed. My God is still the King who rearranged the fabric of the universe with just one word. Still moving mountains, haven't you heard? Zacchaeus was too short to see above the crowd, but Jesus saw him anyway and called him down. You may feel too small, too weak, too late, but God is already moving past every gate. The mountain in front of you is not a surprise. He saw it coming with his all-seeing eyes, and he's already made a way where there is no way. Mountain, move in Jesus' name. I'm not playing a losing game. My God is still the mountain mover. My fear and anxiety, he'll remove her. Still moving mountains, still moving mountains. Watch him work. Watch him work. They said impossible. You said watch me work. They said too far gone. You said watch me rebirth. A virgin gave birth that defied science. Red Sea parted that defied compliance. The sun stood still for Joshua in the battle. The walls of Jericho crumbled like cattle. So when they tell me that my situation is too hard, I remind them who I serve, the God who holds every card. Impossible is nothing to the God I serve. Every promise, every word, you never lost your nerve. You take the empty and fill it, the dead and raise it up. You take the bitter cup and turn it into blessings. Impossible is nothing. That's just a chance for you to show the world that what you say is what you'll do. Yeah. Elijah called fire down from the sky. Elisha made an axe head float. Don't ask me why, just ask me who. Ask me whose I am. I belong to the great I am, the one who spoke the universe into existence, who turns my resistance into assistance. If he can do all that, he can do this small thing. Impossible is a playground for your power. In the midnight, in the final hour, you show up and you show out. Impossible is nothing. I have no doubt. Impossible is nothing. you said watch me work. They said too far gone, you said watch me rebirth. A virgin gave birth that defied science. Red Sea parted that defied compliance. The sun stood still for Joshua in the battle. The walls of Jericho crumbled like cattle. So when they tell me that my situation is too hard, I remind them who I serve. The God who holds every card. Impossible is nothing to the God I serve. Every promise, every word, you never lost your nerve. You take the empty and fill it, the dead and raise it up. You take the bitter cup and turn it into blessings cup. Impossible is nothing. That's just a chance for you to show the world that what you say is what you do. Elijah called fire down from the sky. Elisha made an axe head float. Don't ask me why, just ask me who. Ask me whose I am. I belong to the great I am, the one who spoke the universe into existence, who turns my resistance into assistance. If he can do all that, he can do this small thing. Impossible is a playground for your power. In the midnight, in the final hour, you show up and you show out. Impossible is nothing. I have no doubt. Impossible is nothing. Impossible is nothing. Oh. Watch him. I've seen him do wonders that I cannot explain. Walk through fire and didn't smell like pain. My finances were a desert. He brought the rain. My heart was shattered. He pieced it back again. I don't have a theology of a distant God. I have a testimony of a God who tries. Right beside me in the mud and the mire. Wonder-working God, you never tire. Wonder-working God, that's who you are. The healer, the provider, the bright morning star. You split the sea, you shut the lion's mouth. You bring the north wind and the south. Wonder-working God, you haven't changed. You rearrange the stars for me. That's not strange, that's just who you are. That's just what you do. Wonder-working God, I'm singing back to you. seen him do wonders that I cannot explain. Walked through fire and didn't smell like pain. My finances were a desert, he brought the rain. My heart was shattered, he pieced it back again. I don't have a theology of a distant God, I have a testimony of a God who tries. Right beside me in the mud and the mire. Wonder-working God, you never tire. Wonder-working God, that's who you are. The healer, the provider, the bright and morning star. You split the sea, you shut the lion's mouth. You bring the north wind and the south. Wonder-working God, you haven't changed. You rearrange the stars for me, that's not strange. That's just who you are, that's just what you do. Wonder-working God, I'm singing back to you. The widow's oil kept flowing, never ran dry. The same God is looking at me and you tonight. Your situation may be empty, but He's about to fill. Your story isn't over, He's riding still. The God who fed 5,000 with a boy's lunch is the same God who's about to give you a hunch that something big is right around the corner. Wonder-working, never stopping, mountains dropping, chains are popping. That's my God, that's my King. Wonder-working, let the whole world sing. Whoa. Wonder-working God, wonder-working God. I worship you. I worship you. I worship you. I've seen Him move when there was no way out. I felt His peace when doubt began to shout. The water turned to wine at Cana's wedding feast, and He's still turning my water into something sweet. The blind man saw, the lame man walked, the deaf heard music, the mute man talked. That wasn't just back then, that was a preview of what my God is getting ready to do. He still does miracles, He still makes a way. When every door is closing, He opens one today. He still heals the broken, still calms the raging sea. The God of wonders hasn't changed, He's still working in me. Oh, He still does miracles, I've seen it with my eyes. He turns my mourning into dancing, my failures into rise. The woman with the issue bled for 12 long years, but one touch of His robe removed every fear. Lazarus in the grave for 4 days and 4 nights, but Jesus called him out, death lost its fight. The same voice that spoke come forth is speaking now over your situation, over every vow. The enemy said finish, but God said watch and see. Miracle worker, wonder maker, chain breaker, heartache taker. You haven't stopped, you never will. Your miracle power is flowing still. He still does miracles. He still does miracles. seen him move when there was no way out. I felt his peace when doubt began to shout. The water turned to wine at Cana's wedding feast, and he's still turning my water into something sweet. The blind man saw, the lame man walked, the deaf heard music, the mute man talked. That wasn't just back then, that was a preview of what my God is getting ready to do. He still does miracles, he still makes a way. When every door is closing, he opens one today. He still heals the broken, still calms the raging sea. The God of wonders hasn't changed, he's still working in me. He still does miracles, I've seen it with my eyes. He turns my mourning into dancing, my failures into rise. The woman with the issue bled for 12 long years. The one touch of his robe removed every fear. Lazarus in the grave for 4 days and 4 nights, but Jesus called him out. Death lost its fight. The same voice that spoke, come forth, is speaking now. Over your situation, over every vow. The enemy said finished, but God said watch and see. Miracle worker, wonder maker, chain breaker, heartache taker. You haven't stopped, you never will. Your miracle power is flowing still. He still does miracles. He still does miracles. Watch him work, watch him work.
I thought I'd seen it all, but then you did it again. You turned my losing streak into a win. My back was against the wall, I had nowhere to go, but you showed up and put on a show. Not just a little miracle, but a wonder. You silenced every voice of thunder that spoke fear into my ear. Wonders never cease when you are near. Wonders never cease when you're around. You take the lost and make them found. You take the broken and make them whole. You take the dying and revive their soul. Wonders never cease, they just begin. Every time I let you in to my chaos, to my pain. Wonders never cease, like pouring rain. The wedding at Cana ran out of wine, but you turned water into something divine. Not just enough, but the best was last. You're not a God of the future or the past. You're a God right now, this very hour, filled with wonder working power. So I'm expecting something I've never seen. Wonders, wonders never stop. My cup is filling to the top. I'm not surprised anymore. Wonders are knocking at my door. Wonders never thought I'd seen it all, but then you did it again. You turned my losing streak into a win. My back was against the wall, I had nowhere to go, but you showed up and put on a show. Not just a little miracle, but a wonder. You silenced every voice of thunder that spoke fear into my ear. Wonders never cease when you are near. Wonders never cease when you're around. You take the lost and make them found. You take the broken and make them whole. You take the dying and revive their soul. Wonders never cease, they just begin. Every time I let you into my chaos, to my pain. Wonders never cease, like pouring rain. The wedding at Cana ran out the wine, but you turned water into something divine. Not just enough, but the best was last. You're not a God of the future or the past. You're a God of right now, this very hour, filled with a wonder-working power. So I'm expecting something I've never seen. Wonders, wonders never stop. My cup is filling to the top. I'm not surprised anymore. Wonders are knocking at my door. Wonders never cease. Wonders, wonders never cease. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Yeah. I didn't always believe, I had my doubts. I thought miracles were for ancient times without any relevance for someone like me. But then you touched my eyes and made me see, not just physically but spiritually. You showed me that the God of history is still writing history today. Miracles aren't far, they're just a prayer away. I believe in miracles, I've seen them with my eyes. The dead heart beating, the breaking of the lies, the check that came in the mail at the perfect time, the healing that the doctor said would never climb. I believe in miracles, not just back then, but right now today, over and over again. My God is a miracle working God, and I'm walking on the ground He's already tried. The woman at the well met Jesus and she changed. The demon-possessed man was no longer deranged. The blind man washed his eyes and saw the trees. The leper felt new skin, he was free. These aren't just stories from a book so old. They're blueprints of what my God still holds for you, for me, for everyone who dares to believe. I believe, heal my unbelief. I receive every miracle you have for me. I believe now I'm free.
yes, I believe. I didn't always believe, I had my doubts. I thought miracles were for ancient times, without any relevance for someone like me. But then you touched my eyes and made me see, not just physically but spiritually. You showed me that the God of history is still writing history today. Miracles aren't far, they're just a prayer away. I believe in miracles, I've seen them with my eyes. The dead heart beating, the breaking of the life, the check that came in the mail at the perfect time, the healing that the doctor said would never climb. I believe in miracles, not just back then, but right now, today, over and over again. My God is a miracle working God, and I'm walking on the ground He's already tried. The woman at the well met Jesus and she changed. The demon-possessed man was no longer deranged. The blind man washed his eyes and saw the trees. The leper felt new skin, he was free. These aren't just stories from a book so old, they're blueprints of what my God still holds. For you, for me, for everyone who dares to believe. I believe, I believe, I believe. Help my unbelief. I receive every miracle you have for me. I believe. Now I'm free. I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe.
I serve a God who speaks to nothing and calls it something, who parts the sea with a whisper, who breaks the chains of the suffering. The doctor said it's over, the world said close the case, but my God specializes in the impossible by faith. He took a wound that was empty, filled it with laughter and tears. He took a tomb that was final and rolled away all the fears. God of all possibilities, that's who you are. Moving mountains, healing bodies, reaching every sky. You still do miracles, you still part the sea. The same God who raised Jesus is working here in me. God of all possibilities, I believe tonight nothing is too hard for you. You turn darkness into light.
Abraham was 100, Sarah's womb was dry, but you promised them a nation, and you didn't lie. The Red Sea stood like a wall, the army couldn't pass, but you opened up a highway right through the water's mash. Shadrach in the furnace, the fire had no sting. Daniel in the lion's den, you shut every mouth to sing. If you did it then, you do it now. I don't need to know the how, just the who, just the one who speaks and it's already done. God of all possibilities, I'm standing on your promises tonight. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible.
I serve a God who speaks to nothing and calls it something, who parts the sea with a whisper, who breaks the chains of the suffering. The doctor said it's over, the world said close the case, but my God specializes in the impossible by faith. He took a wound that was empty, filled it with laughter and tears. He took a tomb that was final and rolled away all the fears. God of all possibilities, that's who you are. Moving mountains, healing bodies, reaching every sky. You still do miracles, you still part the sea. Same God who raised Jesus is working here in me. God of all possibilities, I believe tonight nothing is too hard for you. You turn darkness into light. Abraham was 100, Sarah's womb was dry, but you promised them a nation, and you didn't lie. The Red Sea stood like a wall, the army couldn't pass, but you opened up a highway right through the water's mash. Shadrach in the furnace, the fire had no sting. Daniel in the lion's den, he shut